All right, guys, so in this problem here, I'm going to walk you guys through how to do this with exercise number 2. And as you guys saw that's in class, we already done most of them. So I'm going to keep going back to the beginning and start drawing for those who wasn't paying attention or you need to see it again. So let's talk about the problem before we do it. All right, the height of this whole thing, as you can see on the right-hand side, is 40 plus 20 plus 50. That's all the way to the bottom up here. So that is 110. And then you can see on the right hand side here, on this right hand side here, or you can see there little steps right here. We need to figure out what that steps measurement is, right? So you can see the center of this small circle down to that top ledge is 14, right? So that is 14. Now you can see on the left hand side here, the radius of this circle, the big one, is 20. That means from the center of that circle down to this edge is also 20, right? So that is 20 versus 14. So the difference here will be 6, right? So we can see that. Now, how I'm going to draw this is I'm basically going to go ahead and use my mirror option. So I split this in half. I'll draw the left-hand side, and then I mirror it to the right. After I'm done with that, I can go back and draw the circles, the big one and the small one here. All right, so I'm going to do that at the end. All right. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this problem one more time, okay? The measurement over here, we're going to talk about it. But first, let's go up 104. We did the math earlier, if you don't remember. And then go to the left half of 130, which is 65. And then I'm going to go down 15 to get this first arc here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that first. All right, go into my line. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I have more room to work with. All right, go up 104, 104, enter. And I'm going to go to the left with my snap line. Make sure you have those snap line on, and this is 65. Now, if you don't have this snap line on, this is how you change that. So make sure that all your center point, midpoint, end points, all of those show up. Make sure you will have your angles snap showing on as well. And your tracking, make sure that those are on and off, okay? So make sure that it's on for me, all right? So you can see all those other things, all right? And then you can see when you switch between the ortho and the ortho, those change, all right? So make sure you know which one you're on. I want you guys to be on here because we'll work with some angles right here. All right, so we are done there. Let's go down 15 as we said. We are going down there. All right, let's zoom in. Double click your middle mouse or the wheel. That will zoom in, and then you can use that mouse to zoom out just a little bit. And the hand, if you hold down the wheel, you're able to pan left and right. Okay. Now, something happened to my ribbon today. It's in this kind of form. So I have to open this to see the palette. But if yours is different than mine today, you saw we did it differently yesterday. So it's there. All right, so under properties, we're gonna go here, and by layer, we're gonna click on that. We right now have by block and by continuous. Was not part of our drawing, so we want to change this into a construction line or a center line. So I'm gonna go to other, and the windows show up on my other screen. So I'm gonna over here. You click on load, okay, and when you click on load, this window show up, and I want you guys to look for the center line. So the long and short center line. This one right here will works. We're going to select that one. We click OK, and it's there now. So we have that. I want to change this into that center line. So go to property, select it. Now it's there, center. All right, hit escape. And then you can again zoom in to see it's right there. It's the center line. It's just that you don't see that it's changed, but it did. All right. Then we're going to draw that circle of 15. All right, so we're done with that. The next thing we're going to talk about is this section here. What is the measurement of this whole thing going to be? So it's 15 down here. It's 15 right here. That little gap there. I went back and looked at this problem. The way that they set this up for this measurement, the comma separate them. So they said that this right here, 44, is the distance between the two small arcs after they are offset from the side. All right, I believe that yesterday we did the math and it came out to be 10. but it's actually and let's do 10 to concentrate, because now if we are doing 44, we have to change the unit and everything else. So let's stay with that. So we said that yesterday, that's 10. So we're going to use 10 for this right here. So we're going to draw in 10. And after we've done that 10, we draw another 15, and then we draw the big circle. All right. So let's go back to drawing. Here, we're going to go down to be 10. All right. And that 10 is also going to be a center line for us. All right. Now, if you don't want to do the center line things, you can go back and trim everything that you add on, or you can do a color later, and I'll show you that next. But we're going to draw the circle now using this endpoint to draw a circle, and this is also 15. All right. So we have that. All right. Hit escape. Now, it may not be a good idea to change that to center line, because now we're going to use that. So let's change it back to continuous. We're going to use this to offset. We want to offset this to the left, and we want to offset this to the right, so we can connect the two circles here. All right. So let's do that. Here's your offset under modify. Click on that, and we want this offset to the left and the right. So we want its offset to be 15. So I'm going to click on it. Try not to click on the center. So I'm going to go ahead and try to zoom in. The center is when the triangles show up. So I'm going to offset this right here to the right. So let's go back here, offset, and then I'm going to put in a measurement, which is 15. I hit enter, and now I select the object. This one is snapped right there. I'm going to click. Oops. All right. Click over here. It's there now. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing one more time. We're going to go to the right. There we are. So we got that offset. All right. We hit enter. We're done. Now we want to get out of this offset. Make sure you hit escape multiple times, because escape doesn't change anything. It just get out if you hit multiple times. Now what you're going to do is you can go and see the problem again. We can trim those later. All right. We can work on that later. So we have that right there. Okay. Let's just trim some of this so you can see, because this, we don't need this right here, right? All right, you don't need that. And then you can zoom in, you can see that we can trim this right here, and we can trim this right here as well. Let's do that right now. And we can also trim this right now. So you guys can see this is what it looked like right here compared to our drawing, right? For the outside right now. But the outside isn't, the outside art doesn't have this one right here. We're going to trim that later, but we need to have this right here first. So let's go back here. All right. We're going to use the offset one more time, and when this time we're going to offset it, the thickness of this right here is 9 units. So we're going to offset it 9 units. So we're going to put 9, enter, and then we're going to select what we want to offset. There you go. And now offset again. You want it to be inside. Offset again. You want it to be on the inside. On the inside. There you are. You have that right there. That's what you're looking for. Now, if you really now at this time you want to trim it, you can just go and draw that line there, line segment. Make sure that it follow this green snap line, and then you can trim the big circle. But usually I don't do this until the end, but now I'm doing it so you guys can see the drawing as it's come into almost where it needs to be. As you can see, that's what it looked like now after you trim things, right? So you may want to wait for the trim later, but that's what it is. All right, so here we are, got that corner, and we're going to stop right here. We're going to go back down to the bottom. All right, so in the bottom here, I'm going to go right here again. I'm going to go to the left half of the 60, so it's 30, and then I'm going to go down 6 and go to the left 30, and then I know the radius here for that point, the center, is 20 units up, so I'm going to go 30, 6, 30, 20. All right, let's do that. And 20. All right, and hit escape. And here we can go in and draw that circle of radius 20 that we just established, the center point, this one. And then we also notice that, we also notice that this small circle is also share the same center, and its radius 8. So we're going to go back to our drawing. We draw another circle here of radius 8. All right, so we got those circles, and let's go ahead and escape out of here. So we have that. All right, let's go back to the drawing, and then we need to make sure that we have this line somewhere here before we're going to attach them to it. So we're going to call this halfway. Now, I remember yesterday we talked about this, and some people know that we don't know for sure. So we're just going to go ahead and guesstimate here because the measurements. All right, so we're going to do that. All right, so let's go ahead, click on line, and then we're going to put in here until we see our midpoint show up. Now, I just want to make sure that our snap turn on for the midpoint so that when we are in the line, you can see the triangle show up. That's the midpoint. I'm going to go all the way up here on the top. There we go. Hit escape. All right, so I have that. Now, what I need to know is where is this one? This one is the same as this on the right hand side. You know that the length of that is 20. We need that to be 20. And that is 40 from the top. So the top down 40 and the bottom up 50. That's basically how you do it. So let's go here. There's two ways of doing this. You can get rid of this actually if you want to, and then you go back to the midpoint and you draw up 50. And then from there you can go up another 20. All right, so you have that 20, and then you can go back down here to this 50 and hit delete. So you're gone. You don't need that anymore. So that is a way of doing it. And then all you have to do now is connect this two here. But before you even connect that, let's go and do this drawing. But first, I'm going to change the color a little bit. I'm going to, under my property, I'm going to change this to red so you can see what I'm doing. Right here, I'm going to draw a line all the way up. Right, it's going to be vertical. Hit escape, and then I'm going to go over here at the end of that 65. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I want to make sure that this is the line that I'm actually not the end of the 65, but this right here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to find that. I'm going to draw a straight down just as far as it's across that arc. That's all I need, because I'm going to go here and trim. I'm going to trim this little arc right there. And when I'm done with that, I don't need this red line anymore. I trim it. All right. Same thing here. I can go here and I can trim this arc because I don't need that. All right. And if I'm done with it, I can also trim this line segment. I can trim all of that. All right. Now I have to zoom in a little bit to trim that. Zoom back out. Now all I have to do now is just connect this endpoint. And I know that is now in a different color than what we want, but we can, oh, Control Z. I did not. All right, just need to snap into that location. All right, what I need to do now is I'm going to go back to property and I'm going to change both of these back. So I'm going to select both of them first. Select both of them and change the layer under property, change that back to white. All right. There we are. We have that. That is a problem that we have right now. Now it looks almost not the same as the drawing, but it is. We cannot zoom in right here, but if we zoom into here, it's have a little gap there, like not straight all the way. All right, so that is what we have on the left. What we need to do now is just going to use this information and mirror it to the right, so we have the same thing. So I'm going to go to the mirror option here. Right, they said select object. I'm going to go ahead and select this whole thing. All right, I have all of that. I'm going to mirror that about this point. So let me click on the mirror option again. I want to mirror this whole thing. Oh, mirror this whole thing. Oh, sorry. Mirror this whole thing. And I want it to mirror about this object. It's not doing that for me. I'm sorry. I got the same problem yesterday. Mirror. I am in the mirror. Hit enter. And I need to mirror it about this point. So now I can mirror around that. When I snap into that location, I just click enter, and it asks me if you want to erase it. Set No. All right, but I'm going to do that again so that you guys can see. Again, I click on mirror. I select everything that I want to do. I hit enter, and then I click on this location on top because that's what I wanted to mirror about. And then I click on the other endpoint, and I said, I do not want to erase, and I said no. All right, here we go. We have that, right? Same thing. What we're going to do next is we're going to click on here, and I don't need this line in the center anymore, so I trim it. All right. So what I need to do now is drawing this big and this small circle. All right. The small circle is easy to do first. So if you want to do that, you can see the center here is 14 from the edge, and then it's from the 10 from the right hand side coming in. So I can go up 14 and then right 10 from this corner here. So let's do that. And I can do this in a different color so you can see it. So here we go. I'm going to go line. I'm going to go from here up 14. And I'm going to go to the right 10. Right. And that will be the center where I'm going to use to draw my circle. And I know my circle is going to be white, so I'm going to change it back to white. All right. That's going to be 8. All right. So there you go. That's the circle. And by the way, if you click on the utilities, the measure, you click on that, and just a quick distance, just a quick one. You can put your mouse everywhere, and you can see your measurements that you put in. You can see that length is 20, that is 8, that is radius 20, that is 30. So that 30 and 30 is 60, that is 30. And up here is 65, 65 and 65, that's 130. You can see all of that measurements, right? And you can see the gap, that's 9, because that's all the measurements that show up. All right, so you have that. All right, let's go here and let's get rid of the yellow construction line that we created. All right, hit escape to get out of it. Now let's go and draw the last thing, which is the big circle. Now the big circle is 45 from the top down and 42 from the left in. That's the center, right? 45 and 42. So what we can do is let's go back to our drawing. Go here. Here is our center, right? So we're gonna go from there down. We need to go down 45, and then we're gonna go to the left 42. So let's do it this way. Let's draw them. Down 45. So draw that first, hit enter, right? And then go escape. We're gonna draw another line here, click the line. We're gonna go here, but we're not gonna click on anything. Just move your mouse to the left side until you see this show up. And then when it snap into that, when you have that cross, hit click, and then you're gonna draw that to the right, and you're gonna make sure that it's 42. All right, hit escape. And you can see the center is right here at the endpoint. If I am to draw a circle, that is the center. This is not it, right? We know that this distance from here to the top is 45, right? And it's 42 in from the left side. So that's why we draw this first, and then to use that to draw this circle here. And this is 24 in radius. All right. So when we're done with that, what we need to do is let's go ahead and trim the thing that we don't need right now, because we will create some line that we need. Oops, we don't want to get rid of that center because we need the center to draw something. All right, escape. All right, let's go. Take a look here. We need to have an angle of 135. That is where we're going to start draw something so that we can use as reference to draw this little bump right here. All right, the angle is 135. So let's go and take a look here. Line, I'm going to go here, I'm going to click, and I can drag it up. The angle that you see right now, that's 130. That angle is actually the same as this angle, because if I am to draw, let me change my brush too. If I am to draw something like from here, if I draw that line, Control Z, sorry. If I draw this, if I extended this right here, and if I extended this right up, you can see this angle here is the same as this angle on the right hand side, right? So those angles are what we call vertical angles, so they are the same angle. So in here, this angle is the same as the angle that we need, so it's 135. That's what we need. All right, hit tab because now we need to figure out how far we need to take this one out. So let's go back to our sketch. All right, take a look at this. All right, the radius is 24, so we're going to go out 24, and then you can see this is 3, so that means it's going to go up another 3, so that is 27. We need to go 27 to get into the center here for this arc. All right, so I'm going to do that as 27, hit enter. Okay, I need to double check that that is 27. It doesn't look like it, but let me see here. I'm not sure if it's 27. It is 27. All right, hit escape. I'm going to go ahead and trim what I need to trim. I don't need this. I may need this, but let's leave it there for a second. All right, hit escape. Let's go here and we're going to draw that little arc. And I forgot the dimension of that. That arc is 6. The radius of that is 6. So I'm going to draw that, call it 6, enter. All right. And then you can go here and you can trim out the part that you don't need, which is here, but there's more stuff that you need to trim. So let's trim this first. But we have other things that we need to do. We know that this, we need 3 from here up somewhere. So what we need to do is this. Here, I need this to be 90 degrees to this line, right? So I need to make sure that I know what this angle is. This is 45. That means I need to go another 45 to be 90. So I have that line there. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to extend it out. Escape. Let me zoom out a little bit. So this angle is 90 degrees. The way I created it, because I want this right here to be my reference so that I can get the endpoint on the left and the right of this bump to draw it down here. So I'm going to have that on there, but I need to also make sure that my angle is correct. So I need this angle to be 90-degree angle. So that means to go close to it. Is that 90? Yes, it's 90 because it show up as you see the symbol for 90 degree. Now the other way that you can do, you can go to dimensions and you can just click on that and here, and that should be 90 if I just let it go right here. Now the number is too small, right? I believe I already showed you guys how to change that. You can go to standard and in here you can modify, or you can just simply write DIM style, dim style. I click on the wrong one. DIM style, that dimension style, and it take you to the same place. Click modify, and then this window going to show up. You're going to click on text, and you're going to change that text to a bigger number. So let's say 2.5 would be good. All right, click OK and click close. That number should show up, and you can see that 90 degree there. Okay, so that's how you can see things. All right, we're going to get rid of this later, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it because I don't need it later. Now I see it. All right, escape. All right, so I was just trying to show you guys there, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so I just need to make sure that I also get this on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click here, and let's see. I need to have my snap line there. That's snap line. Okay, that's snap line. I'm just going to end it right there. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line. I'm going to go ahead, make sure that I can draw down. Now, another way that we can do this is I'm going to take this whole line. I believe I should do that maybe quicker. Offset. I can offset this whole line. I offset by the radius of this, which was 6. So I'm going to offset 6, enter, and I'm going to click this line, and it's going to go right here. I'm going to click it. I'm going to click this line one more time. It's going to go to the right. I'm going to click it. So escape. So you can see that I have those, right? So that is another way that you can do those lines. and then you can just trim out the thing that you don't want. So basically we did not have to draw this line here. All right, and then also that. All right, so you guys see that is we got that finished there, and that is how you do it. And again, all you have to do now is just go in and put your dimensions from that endpoint to this endpoint. I want the whole 130. All right, the number just changed again. Let me see. We want it to be 2.5. All right, close. Wrong with my bin style, so bin style. Modify text. Yes, you are 2.5. Okay. Close it. All right, 130. 2.5 is maybe it's too small there, so let's change it to 3. The number is still small for us to see, so 130. All right. Let me zoom in. There you go, and you can put in all your, the other dimension that you need. So just make sure that we can check the dimension here all the way to the top here. That dimension should be 110, and then you can zoom in. You can see that is 110. All right, so you can check all your dimensions if you need to, and I would prefer that you do it so we can see it. That's 40. All right, there you go. And then the bottom here should be from here to there. Always in dimension. Yep. So basically the problem is done from here to there. That should be 50, and then this dimension is the 20. All right, so you guys can see all that dimension there, and those are the same as the dimension that we see here, 40, 20, 50, and then you can do the rest. Okay. All right, this is how we make these problems. It takes a little time to think about the math, but after you're done with the math, everything should be fine. All right, enjoy. Recreate this problem.